Hey go peeps, welcome back to Snail TV. Let's have a look what we've been up to. Alright, so on this episode we're going to be doing the new FuelTech on the Hayabusa cart. We have all of the FuelTech ready to go. Alright, so FT450 and also a wideband nano with all the special connectors and harnesses ready to go. Thanks very much to Nathaniel from FuelTech there. Great price, or like always. We're going to be also now running K24 coil packs as well. So just going to make up a bracket ready to go for that thing. And yeah, so now we're going to be, so we've got coil packs in all of my things everywhere. So we've got coil packs on here, on the Hayabusa, coil packs on this Hayabusa, coil packs on the Hayabusa. This will be getting the ECU soon as well. This is ECU's on its way. You know, coil packs everywhere. So all right, so that's what we've been up to. I'll show a few more things that we've been up to as well. All right, finally got some parts ready to go on Steve's Camaro. So some clamps come in today, which is good. Just still waiting on the big one there to come as well. These ones here are come. These ones are here for the other side of the plenum. We've got to intercooler, sorry. We've got to split into two, and the 4-inch one is on its way. So once that's going, then we'll start to be doing some work on this thing. That'll be awesome. We've got a lot of things happening outside. Let's have a look. Friends Hilux that I've just put into primer, cleaned up, and also this thing here as well. All right, so alright, so as you've seen, the BMW's all done now at the front. Got the engine bay in primer, cleaned it all up, and now it's all painted. Bit of work in it. It's not a show car at all, but it's got to still look pretty decent, you know. So did our sort of best that we could do. I'm not a spray painter by trade at all, but I just know from mates and whatnot. But yeah, has come up very well. Clear over base there as well. And yeah, so now we've got this thing to go here. All right, so this is the Hayabusa, guys, you all know. All right, I just can't wait. It's been running well. It's always been running well. All right, don't get me wrong, but I just want it on FuelTech, that's all. FuelTech, I know it's going to be better. You can hear the fans in the background, guys. All right, so you see the noisy fans in the background, guys. That's this thing. All right, but this thing's loud anyway, so I'm happy. We'll get that sorted out soon, my mate. Sort that out soon. That's all fine. All right, so big things are now on getting all this wired up. I'll do a small video of what I will do to wire up the coil packs. We're still going to make up a little bracket, as I did explain, and yeah, let's get this thing happening. Alright peeps, so a little PDM I've just finished up. Yeah, it's not finished completely yet, but it's all the reds, which is all powered up. A little bit different than before because there's a couple other things that I'm controlling in here now, and yeah, a couple of things I've gotten rid of, so we've actually had to make up a new one altogether. So this is pretty much how a PDM works, but in a proper a professional PDM. They are a solid state relay, which solid states means there's no fuses, and they shift They're pretty much just like a circuit breaker. And the really expensive ones, you can actually trigger them to come on certain amperage. These ones here is all determined on what fuse you're putting in it, that's all. So something higher current like a fuel pump, you'd be putting like a 30 to 40 amp in there, and something just as small as, like, I've got these jack stands that we're going to be triggering as well. That's only going to be needing, you know, that 10 amp fuse, that's all. So that's nothing special. So this is everything that I've got going for it. So one single power out, that's it. Everything's all negative triggered. Okay, so when you negative trigger things, you do not need a negative going to here. It's all determined on the switching coming into it. All right, so for instance, off of the ECU, everything's always negative of it. And so you put power to both sides of the relay, then negative trigger one side, which then opts the power coming out. So that's how it's just, they're so much simpler to work like this. So there's nothing else, that's it. So as soon as I put power to this, on this side, these relays will have power constantly. So that's why there is a switch here. Then all of a sudden now the ECU, hey buddy, the ECU will have power also, because that's how I'm going to be doing it. Hey buddy, sit down. Sit. 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 Oh, doggy just wants to get in on it. Hey buddy, come on. Come on. Oh, other way. Sit down, please. Sit down. Just trying to get doggy out the way, buddy. So now power goes onto one side, then now the ECU is going to have power. All right. So once the ECU now has power, it now can activate all its negative triggers. Then, for instance, off the start relay. So now negative trigger comes into the relay, and then positive out will be going to the starter motor. So that's why that's such a big relay, because these starter motors do not have a kicker wire. They just have a straight up one power wire. And then just exactly like for everything here as well, guys. So for the fan instance, power's on the whole thing on the relay. Then the power negative triggered into it when it reaches at certain degrees from the FuelTech. Then coming off of the bottom is the actual positive out, and then going to the fan to turn it on. So the other side of the fan will be earthed to the battery. And that's just, yeah, it's pretty simple, guys. So this is the easiest way I find to do everything. If you don't have enough money to go buy a really expensive PDM. And yeah, it's just so simple. Like all up here, like these relays are a little bit more expensive because they do have the fuse on them. And they're a nice relay. So that, you know, they're around about that, you know, that $10 to $15 each. That's just what they cost, guys. You can get a little bit cheaper as well from other places, but so you set all up, this is going to cost me maybe under $100 to make, with the cover and everything, a bit of wiring, guys. So yeah, I've also got the wiring going through. They're going to be for coils and injectors. I need power there, and also power to the ECU. So I want everything coming straight off of that one lug there. And then also all these are all powered up as well. So that's what we're up to. So here we've got fan, the two big ones, we've got fan and fuel pump. Big start one over here, and nitrous for the nitrous oxide for the relay. And then we've got, so what I'm going to be controlling now is the two jacks. So, well, not two jacks, but up and down. So one up and one down relay. Okay, so then once we got that happening, then also now we've got the shift. So we've also got two shifts. So then we've got one for up and one down for down. So the same thing, they're negative triggered, and then positive out to the actual motor itself, the actual bit itself. So yeah, everything's there, guys. So all ready to go. I'm pretty sweet. Let's put this in, and yeah, let's put power to it. Let's wire up the rest of it, and let's get it going. All right, peeps. yeah, been on it for a couple hours now, just getting it all wired up. Things are starting to get a little bit more confusing in this little bit that I've made up. Alright, got all the cores wired up, injectors wired up, power to the actual module itself, the FuelTech, and also the wideband nano as well, so power and earth to it. I've got all the earths going straight to the battery negative, and a negative going to the block of the motor as well. Got it all wired up, all the power to the reluctor, and I've got pretty much got all sensors left and the 5-volt out. After that, then I've got cam and crank, and we should be ready to go. So I've just finished up doing the jacks. So what I had to do was actually change the relays. I forgot that on the jacks I need to like pretty much have it as like a power window. So a negative on one side will go down, a negative on the other side will go up, so we can put power to it. Because I'm going to be activating that from the actual dash now, and not going to be doing it externally. Still going to be safe because you actually got to push the button on the dash, so that's still going to be safe. Yeah, really happy with how it's going. Start button's all done now, so that's going to be activated from the FuelTech on the button. Yeah, everything so far so good. So, and nitrous is wired up as well. Got the nitrous wired up. Just not sure what to do on the fogger because I've got a fogger here. I don't know what to do there, if I should put another switch somewhere and to wire that up as well. So we'll see about that later. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how it's going. Yeah, we'll just get a little bit more done, but just the wiring's a bit of a boring side, guys. So just I'll give you an on and off update. All right, peeps. Well, absolutely ripper of a day. We got the FuelTech on the booster now. So yeah, that makes 2 boosters running FuelTech, which is good. Next one will be the half a booster, of course, but yeah, I'll take you through it, and we can power it on quickly. I'll just show you. I'm not having all the settings are all not done yet, but yeah, we can just have a look. All right, so this is how we've got it set up. So all you do is flick the main switch. All right, so we've got a couple of relays flicking at the moment. That's just because the settings aren't done yet. And then we go, so it turns on straight away. The only thing that I did have calibrated was the TPS, so you can see the TPS there working. The rest of it, none of it's calculated yet. Got to put the start button on there and the other couple of buttons there ready to go. We've got the wideband nano up here. That's the FuelTech one, that closed loop O2 there. A couple of things that we're going to do: clean up a little bit of the wiring here, couple of the wiring here, and just got to make up a bracket for these coil packs. So yeah, exactly not sure yet what I'm going to do. We'll work something out really quickly, won't be too long, but I thought I would call it a night. We'll just fill up these holes with something. It doesn't really matter now, just because that's where those 2 bolts were originally. It's just clean up everything now with no other ECU now. As I said, just one wiring loom, just going to everything. Nitrous is hooked up, absolutely everything's hooked up. I have used every single wire off of the FuelTech. So yeah, everything's looking pretty sweet. So hopefully this week sometime we should be able to get this going. All right, so the only thing we've got happening at the moment is we've still got the shifting up and downs. All right, they're still working, so I've rehooked them back up onto the relays in here, the shift up, shift down, and yeah, the rest of everything else gets controlled by the ECU. So this is going to be pretty sweet. Oh, we also did a 2-step. All right, so 2 steps ready to go. So that gets activated by the clutch. Yeah, so just a limit switch there. Just a bracket up down bottom and a bracket up top. Yeah, just pretty much just squashing on the tube. and everything else all pretty cleaned up, so pretty happy with how it's turned out. Yeah, so everything here is yeah, come up pretty sweet. I'm actually pretty wrapped with it. So we officially have the FuelTech FT450 running on the booster cart. Just got to give it a clean, and we got to sort out these jacks. I put these jacks up to make my life easier, but now I've got to try to get it down on the ECU. So it shouldn't be a problem though. I know what buttons they are, and yeah, we'll be able to work that out. All right guys, on that note, I'm gonna keep it simple and finish it off. Yeah, we've got a massive week ahead of us, so I've got a lot of things to do. Sorry about the small content at the moment. I've just been doing busy on other customers' jobs and stuff like that. And it's not Snail TV worthy, so just tiny little bits and pieces happening. So yeah, ready to get this thing here happening. So hopefully FuelTech, Mr. Nathaniel will be able to get me sorted out this week, and we should be able to get this thing started. So pretty excited for that. Yeah, hopefully everything goes well, which I'm yeah, no doubt, so everything always does. So I'm just happy that everything will be controlled properly, and yeah, all the vitals will be shown, and just those extra tiny little bits and pieces we'll be able to get controlled now, so pretty happy with that. Yeah, as I said, the two-step there is now activated on the clutch, so once clutch is pushed in, then you can activate two-step, so that'll be pretty sweet for this because it's never had it. And yeah, it's what it is. So a couple tiny little bits and pieces there that I've got to do to it, just a little bit of the conduit cleanup, and also just put the side bar back on, and yeah, I've got to get these jacks down so I can move it out the way, that's all. Apart from that, everything's all sweet. Alright guys, so thanks very much for keeping it, yeah, everything happening. I did go live last night, so I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm going to do it probably once a week, I reckon. Let me know what day is good, either Fridays or Saturdays. I would find that would be probably better. A Saturday night is a really good night as well, just so I can have a couple of drinks as well. And yeah, it'll just be pretty cool for the channel just to, yeah, get to know you guys as well, and you get to know me pretty much. So just ask any questions you want to know about the place, or about me, or about yeah, all the projects. So you guys see it, but not in live, that's all. So yeah, on that note guys, thanks very much for watching. As I said, I'll be live next week, and I will see you guys on the next video. See you peeps.